I forgot my tools today.
Hey guys, it's Michael with Mealy Marine. In today's video, I got a huge surprise for you guys. We have someone very big in the fishing industry dropping off their boat for us to rig it for the 2025 season. You guys probably already know who it is, but stay tuned. We are going to show you everything that we're going to do to his boat, from batteries to graphs to how we're going to wire it, all his sponsors, everything you could think of. We're going to show you guys how to do it. Maybe it'll give you some ideas on how to rig your boat, or you can bring it here to Mealy Marine and we'll get it rigged up for you. So that's enough of me talking. Let's go ahead and get to the video. So Ben just dropped off his boat, Puma STS. Pretty much everything's the same as last year, minus some screens, minus a screen in the locker, just some craziness. But he brought a ton of parts, and we're still missing a couple things, but we got a vast majority of it here, most of it, so we can get started. So yeah, tonight it's pretty late. It's about 9-10 o'clock. We're going to open some of these boxes, or most of these boxes, see what he has, and make sure like that he didn't forget something and I'm not forgetting something, or sponsor didn't forget something. And then we're going to prep the boat a little bit. We're going to wrap it with some saran wrap so that we don't scratch it or damage it, and we will put some blankets down and stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna start opening some of this stuff and get it laid out, and then I will get you guys and show you what we got. All right, guys, so let's just go ahead. Let's go over the Puma real quick. You guys have already seen this if you've watched Ben's video, but we'll just go over it real quick if you haven't. It's a Puma STS. It's basically the same boat as last year. He got the aqua traction in here. It turned out really nice. It's a thicker material. It's a little bit more dense as well, so I think it'll hold up very well. Ben's pretty hard on his stuff, so I think it'll turn out really nice. But I mean, there's nothing on this boat pretty much. It's all empty, all ready to go for us to do our thing. About the only thing that's on here is a jack plate. But I mean, even back here in the compartment, no batteries. Oh yes, yes, they didn't put the trays in. Oh, thank the Lord. If you guys work on boats and you've ever taken out a bass cat tray, I mean, like, they use glue that holds like spaceships together or something, because it's almost impossible to get them out. So I'm really very, very glad, thank you Bass Cat, for not putting the trays in, because you guys secure them. You do a very good job securing them. But let's go ahead, let's go over some of the parts here. I kind of have it roughly separated by what's what. We kind of got our graph section. We got 3 of the new Explorers down there. We got a 360. We got the stuff that was in the graph boxes. He didn't bring me the boxes, but this is what we got. We got cables. We got a Bass Fishing Electronics mount. We got a Garmin Live Scope hub, things like that. Nothing too crazy here. Just a bunch of Humminbird networking stuff. Over here, we just have this kind of like stuff that we're providing. Switches, fuse blocks. Oh, this is for my wife, sorry. No, we're gonna do something with these. I just thought it'd be kind of funny. We got our power poles. Obviously we got the one pump out. I've not seen one of these before, so I was just a little concerned with the Bass Cat. It's they have like a very specific area they want you to mount the pump. So my concern was, with the one pump, that would be too big. But I mean, I think this thing's actually smaller than a normal pump. So there you go, there's the one pump. The box kind of got a little messed up during shipping, but yeah, we're all there. We got our battery section. We got his 16 volt 140, 212 or 236 60s, and a 12105 cranking. We got trays, we got a DC to DC charger, we're missing one charger, and then we got the 3-bank 12, 16, 36 volt charger. All right, so moving on over, we got more power pole stuff. This is mostly brackets, power pole light from BFE, just little odds and ends from them. I got this from BFE. I'm not sure what this is for. Something to go on the power pole move, and then some brackets. I don't know what this is either. No clue what that is. Obviously, we don't have a trolling motor yet. Should be here, you know, Monday or Tuesday. And we are also missing our MBTs and the 8700 series box. But anyways, moving on. BBT mounts. I mean, these are really great. This is like the OG, the godfather of dual mounts. I remember watching JT Kenny have one of these on his boat back in the day and just being like, holy cow, you can mount 2 on the console, and now look what we're doing. We got like 12 of them. We got, I mean, this is without a doubt the beefiest. Look at this thing. Holy cow. It's a really cool bow mount. It's for his units, right? We got a mount for the NBT from BBT, and we got some other mounts for his Explorer units. We have miscellaneous paperwork, hats, stickers from sponsors. That's for Ben to put on. That's not for me to put on. And I got a year worth of supply of packing paper. So thank you to all the sponsors for sponsoring Mealy Marine in our future packaging, because I don't know, now I don't got to spend any money on packaging. So yeah, that's all his parts. Now what we're going to do real quick before we leave, I told my wife I'd be home by midnight. So I had to get this done. But I'm fired up. I drank a Ghost energy drink. I'm a cherry limeade type of man. And let me tell you what, I am hyped up. And also opening all this stuff is super fun, because I didn't spend any money on it. It's all his stuff. So I was like, I got to open his presents. It's like opening your brother's presents on Christmas. Anyways, so what we're gonna do is we're going to get the boat wrapped in some like wrapping, some clear wrap, cellophane wrap, cling wrap, whatever you want to call it, just to protect the paint job, because we are going to be climbing in and out of this thing probably a couple hundred times over the next couple days, and we just don't want to scratch it, because you know the next person's going to buy this, and you know, try to protect this as much before it gets wrapped. Also, was a little concerned about the decking. Not that I'm not like in any way bad about it. I just have had instances in the past where you can mess this stuff up pretty easy if you put something sharp on it or something. But that stuff's really solid. So anyways, that's enough of me talking. We're gonna get the boat wrapped. We're gonna get some of these compartments pulled, or the lids off the back pulled. And I'll show you guys kind of a general game plan of what we're doing on our paper. Me and Ben kind of went over it. And like I said, this is pretty much what we did last year. So pretty confident we'll be able to knock this out fairly quickly. So yeah, let's get this boat wrapped. All right, so we just got a couple little panels open here. I know we're gonna be working up here a lot, so access. I was gonna take this locker lid off, but it's riveted in there, so I'm gonna just leave it. It's kind of nice to be able to work on it from outside of the boat without this being in the way, but it's riveted. I'm not gonna really mess around with that. We got the back compartments all taken off. Obviously, we have the boat silicone wrapped. We're gonna lay some blankets right here because we will be leaning all over this quite a bit. When you're rigging a boat, it's a lot easier once you get all the panels removed and stuff. It's just better to remove as many panels as you can to get as much access as you can, because it'll make life a lot easier. The only panel I did not remove, which I usually remove, is the throttle, but I don't think we're going to need it. I don't remember taking it off last time. So yeah, that's really it. I just want to go over the game plan for the next couple days. before we call it a night, because my wife's hitting me up. But yeah, this is basically what we're going to be doing. Me and Milliken went over all of this. So we have a trolling motor up here, 360 LVS 34, an 18, a 12 Explorer that should be upgraded to a 13 Apex later. We have a bounce buster. We have the 8700 series boxer, or 93 or whatever it's called now, the GLS 10, the network hub. We need to rip out the rod tubes. We're gonna put the power pole pump back here, his DC chargers, batteries, all that. So yeah, that's pretty much what we're gonna be doing on this thing. So that's it for right now. We'll check back tomorrow, 7 a.m. I got an hour drive home. And yeah, so short night's sleep. We'll be back here. We're going to hit it hard tomorrow. Me and Kyler are going to bang out a lot of this. Kind of stinks that we don't have some of the parts, but just part of doing this is usually what happens. So yeah, it's really hard to remember to ship all the stuff. It really is. So that's it for today. We'll check back later. Bye.
The next day.
I forgot my tools today.
Good morning, guys. It's day 1. Yesterday was like 0.5, and we are going to start getting to work on getting things ran. We're going to do the hard things first, or big plugs first. We're going to get the transducers installed, and then we're also going to get the charger installed. So we got basically a 3-in-1 off the back. We got an in-hole transducer, I believe, and then we got to mount the charger. So that's what me and Kyler are going to be working on, and then we're going to start running all the snakes for all the wiring, and then we will decide what we're going to do from there. So Kyler's back from getting his teeth pulled. He's not as smart because he forgot his tools this morning. So, right, I told him, I said, you get your wisdom teeth pulled, you become an idiot, and then he forgets his tools. So we've got a lot of stuff done. Let's just kind of go through some of it here. We got wiring ran to the bow of the boat. We're gonna be running wiring into this rod locker right here on the starboard side. Kyler went ahead and got the dual mount from BBT installed on here. We bolted it down, and he's now going to be putting on the graphs and getting all of this done up, because pretty much we have everything we need for here. We got the graphs. We have the power cables. He's going to run power back here to the back, but I think it turned out pretty nice. This is a really sweet mount. So moving on back, like I said, we got wiring ran back here. We have got our super awesome fuse blocks installed. I'm working on the switches right now, but we also have his batteries installed. We have his charger installed up here. The original plan was to mount it back here on the transom wall, but just with the way the height and the way that the back of the boat is set up, it didn't work. Last year it did, this year's not. So we put it in here. It actually worked out really well. It's really hard to show you guys, but so we got that there, and then we also have the power pole pump. Let's go around this side. We got the power pole pump back there. Here's here's a better look at the batteries. And then we got the power pole brackets installed, and we have his 3-in-1 transducer mounted to the jack plate. So like I said, Kyler's going to be working on getting the console all finished up. I'm over here. I'll show you guys what I'm working on. I'm over here building his kind of like switch and main power. So when we've done this in the past, we run 2 switches. We run a switch for the boat, which is this black switch. Everything is labeled. And then we run a 3-position switch for his graphs. So on position 1, it'll run off his 16 volt, and then position 2, it'll run off his 12 volt in case his 16 volt dies or something happens. He can run his stuff off of there. So just going through, making up all the cables, labeling everything. And yeah, so this is almost done, and we're going to install that right here. So the graph one will be here, and the boat one will be kind of like tucked in back there, but you can still reach and turn it. And then those will power these fuse blocks. This will be a 16 volt fuse block, and this will be a 12 volt only fuse block. So I'm sorry about the camera. I do not know why it's like self-leveling, but it is. Anyway, so I'm gonna put you guys back on time lapse. Kyler's gonna get to work there. I'm gonna keep working back there, and yeah, we'll reach back at the end of the day. We got about 3 more hours of work, and then we're gonna call it a day. So gotta get to work. We got a lot of work done today. I'm pretty happy with the progress that we made. So yeah, let's just go ahead. We'll start here at the back and work our way forward. So first thing is we got the batteries installed. We got the charger installed. I already showed you this. We got the power pole pump over there. Since then, we have gotten the switches installed. So we got his switch for his graph, which can be 16 or 12, and then the switch for his boat. So boat motor, all that. We have our fuse block set up here. So basically this is going to be a 16 volt fuse block for all his electronics and stuff is going to be here. And then we have a 12 volt side right here. This common ground allows us, when we turn the switch to 12 volt, that it has a ground or a negative. So that's that. Everything's labeled. It looks really good. I'm sorry about the camera. Don't know what that's about. We've got the console graph, or the console mount installed with the BBT mount. I mean, this thing is sturdy. We bolted it in. If you guys are really fishing big water, heavy stuff, and you got a lot of graphs, you want to make sure you bolt it. And yeah, so we checked this. Everything's looking good. Kyler's got most of the wires ran, stuff like that. We're gonna label everything that we can. Moving on up, we haven't really done much up here. We got the wiring ran, I already showed you that. I'm in the process of making our little DC to DC boards. I only have one DC to DC charger. I'm waiting for the other one. But where this is going to go is, this is going to go in the back. You'll see it once I get it done. But there's really not enough room back there, so I have to make this little panel, which is what I did last year. So these come out pretty sweet, pretty sweet. So yeah, that's it for day one. We'll check back tomorrow, Monday, and we'll get to work. We got a lot of work to do, and hopefully we can be pretty close to being done. I think it takes about 3 to 4 days to actually like rig a boat completely. It's kind of been our experience. So yeah, we'll check back tomorrow. We'll see you then.
Day 2.
Good morning, everybody. We got Christian running wiring in his very attractive bottom that he likes showing to the camera. Kyler got here super early this morning and got some poles installed. We're in the process of making them straight, doing that whole thing. So today's just going to be chugging along, keeping up, trying to get all the wiring ran and installed, start getting graphs put on. Basically we can get the console all finished up today. And yeah, we can't really do much up here until we get the trolling motor, and then we can get the trolling motor installed. Then we can get, if we get the MBT today, then we can put the MBT on the mount, and then we can line everything up. But until then, we don't really want to do too much up here because we need to see how everything lays out. So yeah, we're just working along and slowly but surely. So yeah, stay tuned. Alright, so we've got quite a bit of work done. We've got the power poles installed, but what we've done, and I think this is something that really separates us from a lot of places, I think most places, is we went ahead and we got the hoses taken off, and we've taken them to a hydraulic hose place, and they're going to shorten the length of the hose. Now, I can already anticipate what the comments are going to say. Oh my gosh, they're like custom made lines from power pole, blah 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 blah. Yes, you are right, but I also have a shop in Houston, Texas, which is the oil capital of the world, and if you think that there's not a hydraulic hose fitting place that deals with a lot higher PSI than power pole fittings, then I think you're sorely mistaken. I wouldn't do it if I didn't think it would work. I know it'll work. We've done it before. So we are getting that all done. I am in the process of hooking all this up, so just slowly working my way, and all this will look super clean. This is going to be sweet when it's done. Christian has got the wiring ran for the chargers. He's also got the 16 volt stuff ran right here, so we're going to get ready to cut all that. He's going to start running the 12 volt stuff back along the back, kind of get this up and out of the way too. This is the transducer cable, and again, kind of all this area cleaned up. And then I'm going to keep working on this. Kyler's going to come back, get those hooked back up. We have to do a test, and then yeah, then Kyler's going to have to work on that boat because we still have to do customer boats while we're working. So yeah, that's it. We'll check back in a minute. All right, guys, so I'm gonna be honest, we haven't got a lot done since after lunch, I don't think. I got some wiring done here. We got the power pole pumps installed. Kyler did get the kind of the power pole lines ran and these little fittings installed. They turned out really nice. My little things that I made yesterday for the running guns, they are too shallow, and so if you look at it, I don't know if I can zoom. I can't zoom, but if you basically what happens is the running gun hits the tray, so I had to make them an inch longer, and so I'm in the process of finishing that up. But it's 15 minutes till closing, which is great because now my phone will stop ringing. We did have to work on a couple other boats. I'm going to spend the whole rest of the afternoon, I'm going to spend about 2.5 to 3 hours after I eat my little Red Baron pizza. I'm gonna get this back compartment pretty much all done. If not, I'm gonna be like really damn close to being complete. There's really not much left. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start by putting the DC to DCs in. Then I'm going to put the batteries back in. I'm going to start the trolling motor side and work my way this way. And like I said, it'll be pretty close to being done. We did add one thing. We ran some 12 gauge right here. And what this 12 gauge is going to do is we're going to put a USB port in one of these like little tray lockers right here. So he can run, I believe, like his YOLO Tech or something like that, some kind of camera mount situation. I don't know. And we are also, I think I've already gone over this, but we are going to be installing somewhere up here, if we can fit one, we're going to be installing a nav light plug so he can run a YOLO Tech stick up here pointing at him, I believe. I don't know how that's going to work, but he asked me if we could do it, and I said, Ben, we can do anything.
Day 3.
Good morning, guys. It's day number 3. Day number 3, I'm rocking my Milliken hoodie. Drop the scope, not the soap. We're about that life here. Well, we're about to drop the soap life here, actually. Anyways, moving on. I did not make a video at the end of yesterday. I was pretty tired when I left, and then I just totally, honestly forgot. Not much changed. I spent a lot of time doing really simple things, but trolling motor batteries are all installed, everything like that. Before you say anything, yellow is like the new standard for the negatives, like in yachts and stuff like that, bigger boats. So they're selling duplex with red and yellow in them. I don't know why, I don't remember the explanation I got, but just something to remember. I use the yellow when we're doing like jumps for like parallels or connecting grounds and stuff like that, or negatives. We call it grounds here. But yeah, just to kind of differentiate real quick, you can look, see. We got the NBT in yesterday. He's going with an 18. If you've been sleeping under a rock for the past couple of months, they're allowed a certain amount of screen, like 55 inches or something like that. So he's coming in at 54. We got the NBT, we got the 9500 black box, which is just This is crazy. Like $5 grand for this. We got the 9500 black box and we got the GLS 10. So, and we also got the hub, which we just already installed. So we're putting the network hub for the Hummingbirds over there, and then we're waiting to hear back from Milliken on where he wants these. We're gonna mount them on this wall right here.
Day 4.
Okay, so we're over here with my good friend Ben Milliken's boat. I really like Ben. I really enjoy Ben. Michael and the guys have been working really hard on this boat. Ben had booked this in early or late last year. We knew it was coming, but as you know, when you're waiting on a new boat, it takes a while for it to be delivered. This is the plate for his power pole?
Move, troll motor?
Yeah, his new troll motor. I think there's a power pole on right here. So we're waiting on that. It's supposed to have been here, but as usual, he and I was joking about it last night. It was always supposed to be here. It's going to be a couple more days, which is always a little bit frustrating. We're still waiting on a couple of other things, but if you kind of come back here, obviously, as you can see, these graphs are already in place. These are the new ones, and very, very nice. It'll be interesting. Michael will do a full video on these. As you know, I don't know. I know these are the new ones, and that's all I know about them. So they'll do a better video on that. The idea of this is just kind of give you an update. They have been working on this since it arrived Saturday night, and they've worked Sunday, Monday, Tuesday on it, and then into Wednesday. We ran into some problems which were not of our doing. I don't know who's doing they are, and it really doesn't make a difference. But we're waiting on a new brain for the boat right now from Basscat. They have been, the people at Basscat, I'm sorry, have been absolutely awesome. After we kind of got everything done, we was doing a systems check just like we did last year for Ben, and we noticed some peculiarities. It wasn't working quite the way it should, or wasn't working the way it should on a regular basis. So long story short, it appears that this guy here was on its way out, or something has happened to this, who knows. You know how it is nowadays with new parts. It works when they leave there, it works when it gets here, but then for some reason it just wasn't acting right, I think is the best way to put it. And you say, well, what's that mean? Well, what it means is the keypad wasn't coming on when it was supposed to come on, and then it would come on and everything would be working fine. But you can't do that on a brand new boat. You can't have somebody out there unless you know for sure that it's going to work. So Michael and I, well, Michael first spent, I don't know how many hours tracking it down, talking to Basscat. I came in the next day, went over everything that Michael had done. We spent a lot of time with Basscat and going over what was going on and troubleshooting, disconnecting, reconnecting things, making sure, sometimes with these connectors or any new connectors, they're not always plugged in all the way, or who knows, and I'm not here to point fingers, and I just think, we are hoping right now, believe me, we are hoping that this is the problem. If not, then we're going to have to start troubleshooting every single wire, which we don't want to do. We have gone through and double checked to make sure all the pinouts are correct and all the rest of that, which they are. So, you know, there's a high probability it is this. You know, it happens. You know, I don't know how many times we've had race car parts come, brand new race car parts come in, and they don't work. It's the same with the boats. We get stuff in all the time. It doesn't always work every single time. So Ben had this carpet job. I don't this is that foam stuff. So we had this put in. It's very, very nice, looking good. As you see back here, we've got the batteries and stuff in. Great install. This here is not exactly the way it will end up being because we're troubleshooting. So this is not going to be, we disconnected stuff to do all the troubleshooting. So we'll give you, obviously we'll give you an update on this when it's all said and done, but we're basically waiting on a few parts, and hopefully that brain will be here tomorrow. I've got my fingers crossed on that. Probably should check in with them and get a tracking number, but we'll kind of keep you updated on this. Michael, I know Michael and Ben both will do a full-blown video on this boat. They've already been in filming, so you know, just stay updated on. Really like the boat. Guys have done an awesome job. Tremendous amount of hours already in this boat, and it is a joy, and I mean that. It is a joy to work with Ben. I really enjoy working with him, and you know, he's very supportive of us, and equally Michael is very supportive of him. So we'll keep you updated on this. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and do all that other good stuff, and go check out Ben's you know, YouTube channel if you haven't. But that's what we have going on with this right now. So thank you.
Eventually.
So the brain arrived. It arrived yesterday. We did not put it in yesterday, and the reason is it was about 1:30 when it arrived, and I was kind of tired, and I just don't like to address these problems when I'm not 100%. So we got here this morning, and Michael plugged the brain in, and we had high hopes that it was going to fix the problem. Unfortunately, he did not fix the problem. So at that point, it was a question of going through, and what Michael did, he got up under there, we pulled these cables, and we have, somewhere here, we lost it, but we have a piece of paper telling us what the pinouts are. And so we went pin by pin by pin and double checked every pin. It still did not solve our problem. What we was trying to do was, we know I'm not saying we have a short, but that we knew we had either a connection problem or an intermittent problem with it, because of the way that the boat was acting. We went through and we double checked the connections again, and we double checked the voltage and continuity. Well, once we had checked continuity, and then we went back, plugged it all in, and we was checking the voltage, and then Michael saw that we had a negative voltage. So it was saying we had 13.2 volts, but it had a negative sign next to it, which it should not have. At that point, we disconnected that ground, and we took a ground and jumpered it in, and everything started working right. So we contacted Basscat, and at that point in time, they kind of got themselves, you know, had a little meeting and said that the best thing for us to do, whilst we were waiting for them to call us back, we tried to track the ground, and we tracked the ground back. There's a connector up in here, a 3-prong connector, and then they told us there's also a star connector up under here. But the best and fastest way, or the easiest way, was to just put a jumper into any of the grounds that are under there. So Michael decided to put the ground directly to the bus bar that is under here, and now everything is working. So we took the ground, we marked that ground as a bad ground, and so we're back in business. So we have everything back together, all back under here. That was a lot of fun, but it's part and parcel of it. I'd like to give a shout out to the people at Basscat. They have been extremely helpful to us. They've been very supportive. They've taken all of our calls, very responsive to get this out to us as soon as possible. Next day. We are not affiliated with Basscat. Michael and I, well, I shouldn't say I, Michael, because he owns the company, is not affiliated with Basscat. So this isn't a paid promotion. This isn't trying to suck up to them or any of that stuff. It was just, I'd like to give credit where credit is due, and from the fact of that they were and have been extremely supportive in answering all of our questions.
But if you want to be connected, hit me up, Basscat.
I think Basscat owes you right now, quite honestly. We've spent 2 days on this. I mean, we've spent, I think, a good 6+ hours the other day, you and I. I know that you'd spent quite a bit of time on it, and we've been at this since 7 o'clock this morning, and it's now just after 11 o'clock. But anyway, I think they owe you something out of it. But
Eternity later.
Alright guys, so it's been a couple days since I've done any filming on Milliken's boat, and part of that was because we were waiting on this trolling motor for about like a week and a half. We had a snowstorm come in and we were closed for a couple days, and also the wrap guys were here and I didn't really want to be in their way and just have them do their thing. So we did get a bunch of stuff done. We did not film any of it. I'm going to go through, I'm going to start up here and I'm going to work my way that way. I'm not going to show you the wrap. That's for Milliken to show you, and if you came here from watching his video, then you already know what the boat looks like. So yeah, this is just really going to be like a final walkthrough. I'm going to show you guys everything that we did, and maybe it'll give you some ideas. And if you guys want to get your boat rigged, check us out, MILLIMarineServices.com. Anyways, so we went with the Power Pole Move. This is a 52-inch. The 52-inch, it's on these like double brackets, and on Basscats it has to be up because there's a nav light right here, so there's double bracket. Really slick. This thing is so light. It is so crazy how light this thing is. We got a 360 on a custom mount. We got the NBT mounts for his live scope. They're super sweet, very nice, very well made, good machining. I would say my only thing about the Power Pole Move, and it is not a complaint, is you spend all this money and you get like a rope handle, and who knows, maybe this cord is like super strong, but I don't know, just a little bit weird in my opinion. We got the Bass Boat Technology dual mount here. This thing is really cool, way better than our situation last year. I talked to Van, the owner and designer of all this stuff, and this thing is super sweet. There's two bolts. There's a bolt here and a bolt on the other side, and I can just like tilt this whole thing and get access right here to where all the wiring is. I'm really trying not to get the wrap in here. We got the NBT 18 on the BBT mount. We got an Apex 13 that's not on a BBT mount because this was supposed to be a 12 Explorer. He switched it for the 13 because he got the extra, he has one more inch he can use. We got the Move kind of, I don't know, display. Tells you how fast you're going, things like that. No pedal or no cable for the Move to your foot pedal. We still have to mount switches and stuff, and we still have to clean the boat. But yeah, all right. I'm gonna hop up in here and I'm gonna show you the rest from inside the boat. All right, so we're in the boat here. Here's the last little bit of things that I need to install and get this boat cleaned up here. But here in the rod locker, we got a lot going on. We need to finish cleaning up this wiring. But we got his, you're not gonna be able to see anything, oh, too dark. But right here is his 9500 black box, and up here is his GLS 10. We got his network hub down there for his Humminbird stuff. Moving on back. Excuse me. We're also all been sick. So here at the console, we have two Explorer 12s, and they're really nice on a BBT mount. We put his stereo system right there. We put his power pole move like remote right here. You can also deploy your power poles from here, which is super cool. So we got to get all that like wired up. There you go. That's pretty much it for the console, I believe. Ugh. Moving on back, we got the powerhouse set up, just looking so clean back here. We got two 3660s wired in parallel, ran off of a 60 amp circuit breaker. This turned out super clean. I don't have it in yet, but down here is going to be a 36 DC to DC, so that he can charge his trolling motor batteries while he's going down the lake. So that'll be super sweet. On this side, we got the MILLIKENS 16 volt 140 amp to run all his electronics. We got his cranking battery right there. There's certain things on the cranking battery, and then we have a basically like a negative stud back there for some stuff. My wife calls me a positive stud. Moving on over here, just like obviously probably the work that we are all the most proud of is how sweet this is. And I'm going to kind of break this down here, because this is a really cool setup. You guys can do this yourselves, or he can have us do it. So we got two switches here. We'll just keep it simple. The black switch is for the boat. That's pretty much all boat power. That powers that circuit breaker over there, and like a couple other little things. But this is for boat power, so his grass will not turn on when he turns the switch. It also powers that 12 volt only switch. Excuse me. Then we got this red switch here. This red switch has 16 volt on one side and 12 volts. So this is a 3-position switch. So it's position 1, off, position 2. So when it's in position 1, all his electronics work on 16 volts, which is the position where we have it wired to position 1. If something were to happen, if he runs out of juice or whatever, it's not going to happen. But if something was to happen, if that thing was like explode, he could run it off of a 12 volt. Just one turn of the switch, his graphs are still working. Now it's running off his cranking battery, and he's good to go. We have so this is a 16 or 12 volt bus, or not bus, fuse block with some extra spots. So if you wanted to add something, and then that is a 12 volt only fuse block, and that is for 12 volts only, obviously. So that is everything that we did. We also installed the blades, single pump, his charger for his like plug charger is right here, and that charges all of his batteries. And then his one pump is right here, which is super sweet. Turned out really nice. We got the BFE. We got the BFE nav light or anchor light. That thing is really nice, actually. I dig it. I dig it quite a bit. It's super sleek, nice design. Not like a plasticky design. But that's really it.
So yeah, guys, that's it for this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Check back. We post videos on mostly like project boats that we have going on here at the shop, but we are like super busy. We got all sorts of boats there. We got some boats here, and we got some boats there. So we got a lot going on. If you guys want to get your boat rigged by some of the best in the business, check us out at MILLIMarineservices.com. There's a place for you to go request a quote, and we can kind of get you an idea of what it's going to cost to get your boat rigged up like this. If you need like 100-hour service, things like that, we also do that. We also work on trailers. So pretty much we do everything here. If we don't do it, we know someone who can. And if you guys are looking for parts, check out MILLIKENS.com for all your parts. We're gonna have a collection. We're gonna have a collection on our website called the Milliken Collection, where you can go and purchase all of these products. So you can see kind of what he's running on his boat, from the 9500, the NBT, all this. We sell all of this stuff on our site, and yeah, you can get it. You can literally just go on there and press add to cart, 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 and like 20 grand later, you'll have a Milliken boat. So yeah, that's it. I hope you liked it. Check back next week. We'll see you later. Bye.